And back on our Friday Orange and Brown Talk podcast, Dan Labbe, Mary Kay Cabot, Ellis Williams, Doug Lesmerises, and representing our Football Insider subscribers is Eric Watts. We've got the Steelers. I'm a little surprised by this. It's still kind of a relatively low line with everything that's gone on with the Browns. You know, I think it opened around 4.5, and it hasn't moved a ton. So I've got Steelers minus 5.5 as we're recording this. Mm-hmm. So, Eric, you are our guest picker. You get to lead us off. Steelers minus 5.5 hosting the Browns.
Man, I am a man of faith, and I need a lot for this game because this has been a terrible week for my Cleveland Browns. And I'm sad because I don't know that they're going to be able to get the job done. But as I sit here in my old school Browns jacket with the little corny elf on the sleeve, you know I'm rocking with the Browns, man. You know I'm taking them. Baker is going to get it done. My man Nick Chubb is going to get it done. Kareem Hunt, watch this. Kareem Hunt is going to show up more than he has in the stat sheet over the past few weeks. I'm telling you, the Browns are going to pull this out. They're going to shock the world. What would be crazier, even though it's 2021, and we've seen some crazy stuff already, but I'll leave that alone. What would be crazier as we come out of 2020 with the Browns making the playoffs and them coming in with all of these obstacles, all of these challenges, than for them to win their first playoff game in almost 20 years. Browns all the way.
Ellis, what have you got?
Yeah, this has been, as Eric laid out, a difficult week for everybody for several reasons. But when we focus on this game and specifically the offensive side of the football for the Steelers, it's important to keep in mind that they're not a juggernaut. Cleveland isn't playing the Buffalo Bills or Kansas City this week. Over the past 3 weeks, Pittsburgh lost to the Bengals. They played a strong second half versus the Colts and then really only moved the ball during the fourth quarter against the Browns. I know Big Ben's back, but 6 points is a lot, and that number could continue to go up, though I know we're locking in here at the 6. Big Ben can be prone to turnovers, deflections. We saw that against the Washington football team. A deflection ends the game for them. And perhaps a Myles Garrett strip fumble gives the Browns that extra possession they need to cover or even win. So I don't have a score yet, but again, I think the spread is too large. I'll take the Browns to at least cover. They'll play inspired football for Coach Prefer and Kevin Stefanski. And I'm with my guy, Eric. Nick Chubb's got to get at least 18 carries, pushing 20. I think this is his game to finally put the offense on his back, and they're going to take advantage of that cutback lane that's available and get those yards on the ground.
Yeah, I should note here in the middle of these picks that we are recording this on Thursday night. So, of course, Ronnie Harrison had his positive test. We know that. We don't know what's going to happen Friday morning or Saturday morning or Sunday morning yet. So whenever you listen to this, just remember, we are recording this on Thursday night. So to me, the question here is, one, who do the Browns still have? Okay, and on offense, they still have Nick Chubb. They still have Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins. They still have 4/5 of that offensive line. And Joel Bitonio, I think, is their best offensive lineman. They're going to miss him, but they're going to have a week to prepare on how to play without him. So I think that helps a little bit as well. The short passing game has been really effective for this team. They've kind of been honing it and working it, so really going back to that Giants game. But even before that, I think there's things they can do to mitigate some of that, the attacking the Steelers will do at that left guard position. And, I'm with you, Ellis. The Steelers aren't a juggernaut. They've played one good half of football. I mean, I know against the Browns, Mason Rudolph completed some passes and whatever. To me, that game just doesn't count for the Steelers that we're going to see on Sunday. They played one good half of football, and it's hard for me to look at the Steelers and see them as this super intimidating team. So I don't know if the Browns are going to go win this game, but I think the Browns can go there, control the clock a little bit if that's what they want to do, use that short passing game effectively. I'm scared to death of the Browns defense if Denzel Ward isn't back. But Myles Garrett is still Myles Garrett. They're going to have to figure out what to do with that Olivier Vernon, but I think they can get some pressure on the inside. I'm going to say the Browns. I'm going to trust in the Browns and their coaching staff, even with Kevin Stefanski sitting at home and watching on his big screen TV. I'm going to trust the Browns in this plus 5.5. Doug, where are you?
So they've played without key players all year. The combo they really missed was when they missed Chubb and Wyatt Teller together, and they lost 2 of the 3 games where they didn't have those guys together. Almost everything else they've kind of managed, even Odell Beckham Jr., even Myles Garrett when he missed 2 games. They've kind of managed it. So it's not the player absences that I'm really worried about. They're not practicing. So like Dan, you said they'll be able to work it out.
That's concerning.
They're not practicing football.
We're talking about practice.
Like, I can't. This is the thing of all the stuff. I don't know. Is the NFL going to make them play on Sunday night and be like, oh, you didn't practice all week at all? Okay, good luck. Also, by the way, their play caller's not going to be there. Like that combination, the lack of practice with the absence of Kevin Stefanski is crazy to me. You know what? I agree with everything what everybody else said about it's not an offensive juggernaut. The Steelers have some absences on defense. This is not the team that they were when they started 11-0. So I'll take the points too. You know, I can imagine that when we put our picks out on the weekend, we're all going to pick like a close Browns loss because it's kind of the safe thing to do. I'll be curious which ones of us really pick the Browns to win. I don't know that anyone's going to say they're going to get blown out of the water. This is really rough for them, I think, though. And if they can practice a couple days here going into the game, I think that's going to make a big difference. If they can't even open the facility and they're going to Zoom their way to playoff prep, I just can't wrap my head around that. But I'll admit it. It's kind of like a homer pick. So I'll take the Browns plus 5.5 with also whatever belief of, yeah, they can do it. They have the talent to do it. It's just a lot of stuff's conspiring against them.
Mary Kay, are you going the same way? Is this the complete Homer podcast here?
You know what? Actually, it is, because it just seems to me like everything sets up to be, the Browns actually coming out and winning one for the Gipper and overcoming all of the. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be closer than 5.5. And here are some of the reasons why. If you get some of these guys back, I mean, if Denzel comes back, Malcolm Smith, Harrison Bryant, I don't think Kevin Johnson can come back. If you get a couple of those guys back, especially Denzel Ward, then you look at your defense and you still have Myles Garrett, Sheldon Richardson, Denzel Ward, BJ Goodson is back. So, you're getting guys coming back. It hurt to lose Ronnie Harrison, but they were without Ronnie Harrison for 4 games and they won most of those games. So as far as not practicing is concerned, one really good thing that Kevin Stefanski has done with these guys all year long is the fact that he has been able to get them through mental walkthroughs and virtual, just the mental side of the game. He does a nice job of that. So I'm going to say that they're going to practice once or twice before the game. They're going to have most of their Pro Bowlers in the game, and that they will keep it closer than 5.5.